serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live 10 at 10.
Just wondering how we're going to begin again or where it's going to go.
A family of 8 is at a loss tonight after high winds this week left them homeless. Good evening.
Valley News Team's Krista Boehm talked with the Audubon, Minnesota family who's facing issues on where they turn and what to do next.
The wind may have calmed, but a new storm is just beginning for Marie King and her family.
I don't know where to go from here.
Marie came home to her house in pieces, the roof laying on the ground.
I was surprised that it was the only one in the trailer park that actually got destroyed.
Wind gusts of 50 miles per hour hit the trailer.
Before it was fine. You could feel the wind blowing on the trailer house.
But she never thought any harm would come of her home for her and her 6 kids.
It's just the beams that are sitting up there now.
Rain poured inside, and Marie says she's worried her home may collapse before they can get everything out.
I think it would have to be gutted right down to the frames and start all brand new.
A cost she can't afford. But what's a bigger concern? Where her family is going to stay. Confusion with Red Cross left them alone to pay for a hotel room.
It's like we're on our own and my hands are tied and I can't go nowhere.
With no home and unsure of what tomorrow will bring, her outlook as she pushes through this storm keeps her going.
Gotta go day by day. That's about it. You can't live on yesterday and be angry.
In Audubon, Krista Boehm, Valley News Live.
Watch with the Red Cross after Marie told us that she tried. Her case was sent to the wrong region. Red Cross has since been in contact with her and is looking for people in the Audubon area to assess the damage and help her family.
While thousands were singing along with Taylor Swift last night, one mom had to tell her daughter they couldn't go. Tonight, she's warning others about ticket scammers. Wendy Anderson contacted our whistleblower hotline saying she found a woman selling tickets on Craigslist and it sounded legit. The seller texted her pictures of the tickets, told Anderson to go to Walmart and wire her money, then stopped responding.
I was really leery the whole time because I know scams happen all the time. I'm aware of that. And, you know, they're just good at what they do. They make it sound so real, so legit, and I guess I was just too gullible. You just fall for it sometimes when it sounds so good.
Now, if you're thinking about buying tickets online or from a scalper, the Better Business Bureau says there is a risk of being scammed. The best advice, they say, is buy from reputable brokers. Never wire money to anyone that you don't know. And remember, if it seems too good to be true, it usually is.
Fargo police are calling it a learning experience. It happened about 7 o'clock last night when an officer saw 2 men running around a vehicle in the parking lot of a restaurant along 9th Avenue and 45th Street. Now, some photos were posted. These ones were on the Fargo Police Facebook page, showing the guns the 2 men were pointing at each other. After questioning, police say the men told them they were just playing around. No one was arrested, but criminal charges could still be filed. Regardless, police say this could have turned into a much worse situation, and they want people to be aware. You can't play around with guns in public.
Big night for the 5 people wanting the Democratic nod to run for president, but the evening's key question was how well Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders would do.
Now, this was the first Democratic debate of the campaign, and Valley News Live's Washington Bureau Chief Jacqueline Policastro is in Las Vegas with much more.
This is where the post-debate frenzy is happening. Here are some of the biggest moments from tonight's first Democratic primary debate.
This has gone on too long, and it's time the entire country stood up against the NRA. The majority of our country supports background checks, and even the majority of gun owners do.
We do need background checks. We need to keep the people who should not have guns away from them, but we have to respect the tradition in this country of people who want to defend themselves and their family from violence.
And I will do everything that I can to make sure that the United States does not get involved in another quagmire like we did in Iraq, the worst foreign policy blunder in the history of this country.
I believe that a no-fly zone in Syria at this time, actually, Secretary, would be a mistake. You have to enforce no-fly zones. And I believe, especially with the Russian Air Force in the air, it could lead to an escalation.
I have not changed on the issues. I was a liberal Republican, then I was an independent, and now I'm a proud Democrat, but I have not changed on the issues.
A lot of excitement here tonight. The Democrats have just 5 more primary debates. Reporting in Las Vegas, Nevada, I'm Jacqueline Policastro.
Now, more than a dozen people followed tonight's debate at this downtown watch party at Worst Beer Hall. And no matter the candidate, they all agreed the Democratic debate would differ from the Republican debate recently.
We are not in this to attack anybody. We're not in this to further any one particular person or one particular issue. We're really in this to help the people that we represent every day. And that's the most important thing that we can do as a party.
Recent polls show Clinton still leads the pack, with Bernie Sanders coming in at second and the undecided Joe Biden in third.
It's Tuesday, and tonight we dig deeper into our restaurant report card. This week, we uncover what repeat health code violators need to know if they want to keep their doors open. Valley News Team's Christine Stanwood joins us now to talk about a downtown hotspot that's a repeat violator and how they're working with the health department to improve. Christine?
Mike, this week when we were looking through inspection reports through Fargo Cass County Public Health, we found one restaurant with 2 critical and 5 non-critical violations. The Drunken Noodle has been on restaurant report card 3 times in the past for violations. And after this week's offenses for not date marking food and misplacing chemicals, their 4th restaurant report card prompted us to ask the health department, how many repeat violations does it take for a restaurant to be shut down? The director of environmental health says there's no magic number of violations a restaurant can have, but if a restaurant is not cooperating with them, they are able to add pressure for facilities to clean up their act.
And if we have repeat offenders or we have people that are not making positive progression, what we can do is we send them a notice or a letter, and we can say, you know, you have not been moving in the direction that we wish you would, and we can say that we're not going to renew your license. And that would be a way to, you know, get a point across and set a precedence to make sure that they are moving forward in a positive direction.
Now, Larson wants to remind the public that the health department works with restaurants as allies, so they make sure that they don't shut down. Drunken Noodle says that they immediately made changes to improve their critical violations. Management adds that because they are a bigger restaurant inside an older building, it's sometimes difficult to keep it clean. They tell me they are trying their best. Mike?
All right, Christine. And this week, there was no Clean Plate Award. If you want to see this report or other restaurant report cards, go to valleynewslive.com.